Hey, good evening, YouTube. Welcome back.
Hello. Hey. Hey.
Hey, so today we're going to talk about how we actually started a Jam Pro business with $2,500. Um, we're going to actually break down the different packages that you can buy into in order to make the type of money that you want to make. And we're going to show you the strategy that we use to build our $250,000 commercial cleaning business by just using $2,500 of our own money and not having to use another dime to invest in any more contracts. Basically, we have a breakdown of how to start the business, and as you can see, the FP5 is what we chose. It was $2,500, and it brought back the contract was roughly a $400 a month contract. $416 a month contract was guaranteed to us for putting down the initial $2,500. So basically, what we did is we leveraged that first initial payment because that first initial 2,500 got you all your supplies, got you your your cleaning equipment, your vacuum, your mops, your trash cans. It got you everything that you needed to get started. So we worked that business for we worked that contract for maybe 90 days. And we did so well with that contract that they offered us another contract. And
That was a little bit shorter than 90 days. I think that because I remember we started the contract in July of 2016. And then I think probably like a couple of weeks later, that's when they offered us that bigger contract.
yeah,
So yeah, it was a short time in between the time that we started with the first contract and then we was offered the other contract.
yeah,
And of course, with the FP5, like Pearl was saying, it guarantees you that $416.67 contract per month. But that's not to say that for your first contract they may offer you that much
yeah,
billing and billing contract. So, for example, like when we first started our first contract, so we paid the initial 25.20 for the contract, which guaranteed the $416 per month. But then instead of them offering us something that's exactly that amount, they offered us a contract that I believe was $648. So, but because it was the contract was more, the contract they gave us was more than what we had paid for, we still had to pay them back for the difference. So, and one thing too, I guess we should kind of elaborate on is what the Jam Pro system is that they also charge you a multiplier. So if you don't purchase that contract outright, you're charged what's called a multiplier on that account, where they can charge you. Well, for our market, it's up to, was it 4 times or 3 times?
four times the value.
Yeah, 4 times the monthly billing of that account. Um, so when we started this account, although we had paid for $416 per month for that account, we still owed roughly $200 additionally for that account. So they did a multiplier of, I believe, four for it, and we had to pay that back.
So we'll talk a little bit more in later videos about the different multipliers, and what we did was we we had the $600 contract, so we had a balance left, and we didn't want to keep that balance, so we paid that balance off as well, in order to get the contract free and clear. And then we worked like my wife said, we worked for about 2-3 weeks, and we were offered a larger contract, and I think that contract was for 3,000 a month. Was it? Was that? It was the 3,000 a month contract, which we didn't have to put anything down because we had it financed. And by my wife being a veteran, she was qualified to have a discount on the financing on that contract. So the multiplier was of a 3, because it went over the threshold of $1,500 in our market. Anything over $1,500, your multiplier goes down to 3, and it stays that way for the longevity of any other contracts that you pick up. So we got that contract. We worked that contract for a while, and then we picked up another contract. I think that was $1,200 a month. We picked that contract up. Like I said, still leveraging using sweat equity versus actual money. So we worked the contract off using our sweat versus having to use our funds to pay down the contract. And we paid both of those contracts off in full within 12 months. And we had those contracts free and clear. And then in that time, we picked up another contract that we went out and got on our own. We picked that one up. And then we just kept growing and growing and growing and kept offering us contracts. And it's like I said, it's a simple strategy. You don't. I tell a lot of people that want to start at the bottom, start at the minimum, because if you do good work, they're going to continue to offer you contracts that you don't necessarily have to buy out of your pocket. You just use your sweat equity and leverage your sweat equity and continue to grow your business. One thing else that you want to do is you want to be smart with the contracts that you choose, because they have to make sense financially, because you will have to get them financed. So me and my wife, we always had a game plan on how much money we wanted to receive after we paid the 10%, the multiplier plus the 10% being financed. We had to make a minimum of this in order to work the contract, in order for the contract to be good. Be it that we hire any employees or anything like that, we still had a base number that we wanted to maintain outside of paying out employees and paying out all these fees. So you have to be conscious of the contracts that you do receive.
That's right.
So you have to make sure that you're doing your numbers to make sure that those contracts are right, because you don't want to take everything, because they'll offer you any and everything, but you don't want to take anything because you'll be upside down if you do. So, and you don't want to overload yourself with a lot of debt, because being in debt with them will hurt you as well. You want to be able to pay. Once you get some contracts paid off, then accept some more contracts. That way you constantly have some contracts paid off, but you constantly not paying out a lot as far as paying them in finance charges and paying in multipliers.
Yeah. Where'd you leave off?